Hello and welcome to Retirement Riots. I'm Dana, your queen of Retirement Riots. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, and the title of the episode is Scammerizing, slicing back at the swindlers. If you think fraud and scams only target seniors, you better think again. No matter if you just finished college, started your first job, you're on your fifth child, or reviewing your Medicare options. The scammers are coming for you, and they're coming for your money. So today, we're going to lay out the latest tricks that scammers are using to steal your money, your Medicare number, and possibly your identity. I'm going to give you some fast, practical, and downright hilarious tactics that's going to shut down the scammers before they shut you down. Whether you're 18, 30, 90, or somewhere in between, this episode could save you and your loved ones major headaches and, importantly, help you keep your financial future intact. These days, there seems to be a new scam every day. Unfortunately, it's not just calls and mailer scams anymore. Scams are running rampant all over the world, not just here in the great old US of A, but all over the world. Everybody thinks that it's just, scams or phone calls or things you get in the mail. But guess what? In 2023, there was a data breach of Medicare's new contractor, which is called WPS Health Solutions. The information that was breached included people's names, addresses, Social Security, and Medicare numbers, the latter resulting in the issuance of approximately 1 million, that is 1 million, new Medicare numbers. So please note, if you've received a new Medicare number, you've got to get it to your agent, your insurance company, and your providers. So I'm 61. I'm not even on Medicare yet, and I get at least 3 to 4 scam calls per day. But if you're on Medicare, you're probably getting way more than that. You may be thinking I'm too smart for those scam calls, and you may be right. But without even knowing it, some of you have probably already made the mistake, and now you're at risk. You may have filled out a card asking for more information on the new Medicare benefits available to you. Well, I hate to tell you, but if you filled out that card that says, "Get my new benefits," and you sent it in, you just gave scammers your name, your age, your address, and phone number, and permission to call you or text you. Guess what? They can do a lot with that information. They designed these cards to look like they're coming directly from Medicare, but they're not. Read the fine print at the bottom of the cards, people. It says, if you fill this card out and send it in, you're giving us permission to contact you. So what about calls? I know a lot of us receive calls, more calls than we do stuff in the mail. So here are a couple big clues to watch out if someone from Medicare or someone from somewhere that says they're from Medicare calls you. Do they speak good English? Ask yourself, do they speak good English? If they sound like they're from Mongolia, well, they probably are. Also, see if you can hear call center noise in the background. If you can hear other people shouting and all kinds of stuff going on, that is a telltale sign. Medicare has very, very, very strict privacy rules and regulations. So if obvious background noise or the voices of other workers is clearly audible, it can be a huge red flag that the call may not be with the official Medicare representative, but instead with a third-party call center, aka scammer alert, scammer alert. Here's a couple real-life scam calls for you to listen to. Remember, this could be you, and it's not just phone calls.
You're lying too much to law enforcement, ma'am. Now you're going to get charged with obstruction. Okay, ma'am, what is your ETA like I just stated? Once again, ma'am, you need to be here to know, not 5 p.m., you're going to head down here now.
I am on my way. It says, my GPS says...
Okay, no, you're not in your motor vehicle. You're not in your motor vehicle.
Hello, this call is officially a final notice from IRS, Internal Revenue Service. The reason of this call is to inform you that IRS is filing a lawsuit on your name because you had tried to do a fraud with the IRS Internal Revenue Service, and we are taking a legal action, and we are issuing an arrest warrant on your name. To get more information regarding this case file, just call us back on our department number, 773-536-1343. I will repeat it. 773-536-1343. Thank you.
This is Chief Investigator Sharon Wright. Am I speaking with...
Yes.
Again, my name is Investigator Sharon Wright. I am investigating a criminal complaint that has been forwarded here in the office against you by Cash Express. We are in the process of proceeding against you legally. Now, prior to forwarding this to your local authorities and returning them issuing a warrant for your arrest, I did want to contact you, get a statement, and find out exactly what were your intentions.
It sounded legitimate. A man came on and he said, I've worked for Medicare for 29 years. We have to update your record. And he just kept pushing that. And I gave in and gave that number. It was so elaborate.
She tells me she was suspicious, but was coerced into believing she had to give them her Medicare number to get her benefits back. She said the person impersonating Medicare gave her detailed instructions to get medical equipment she didn't need.
They're going to offer you a back brace and a knee brace and wrist brace, and you just say, okay. And then he came back on and he said, well, they're not going to give you the wrist brace. And I said, I don't need any of that. Just say yes to everything they say. So, I mean, it was painful because I knew then I was in a scam and I thought I had to follow the rules to get my Medicare benefits back.
I get at least 3 to 4 spam calls every single day. And you know what? If I have a little time, I'm going to have some fun. Scammer alert! Scammer alert! The only time Medicare will ever call you is if you ask them to call you. The only time Medicare will ever mail you anything is when they mail you your Medicare summary notice, and generally that's every 90 days. The only reason Medicare will ever call you is if you called them first and requested a call back. The only time you will ever receive anything in the mail from Medicare is when you receive your Medicare summary notice, and that's usually every 90 days. Usually the phone rings and it's a scammer at the worst time of the day for me, but sometimes if I have time in my day, well, gosh darn it, I just like to have a little fun. So here's a couple ways that you can have fun with the scammers too. If somebody calls asking for your Medicare number, ask them for theirs first. Magically, you're going to be disconnected. If a caller demands money or gift cards for urgent fees, ask them if they accept Monopoly money. This one works really well all the time. If a Medicare agent shows up at your door, tell them, please leave your name, phone number, and national producer number on your card on my door, and I'll call you back. Poof! It's like they were never there. If somebody calls you and wants to ask you about your finances or ask you for other personal information, put them on hold for a moment while you go consult with your psychic advisor. Actually, put your phone on mute so you can laugh at the confusion on the other end. It's hilarious. If somebody calls to ask you for your Medicare number, give them a random number. Give them a whole bunch of random numbers, no letters, just numbers, and just keep doing it. They're going to get really mad and say, nope, that's not the right number. It has a letter in it. Just keep giving them different numbers every time. Eventually, they're going to hang up on you. Now, not all the scams are about Medicare. Some claim to be the IRS, some prize-winning sweepstakes like Publishers Clearinghouse, some are fake collection agencies, and some are downright terrifying. My own family was a victim to a horrific scam in 2023. We were all sitting in our living room one Sunday morning around 10 o'clock in our pajamas. My daughter, Jana, who was 22 years old at the time, got a phone call. She answered on speaker, and we heard what we thought was our eldest daughter, Ashley, who happened to be 6 months pregnant at the time, screaming and crying hysterically. And it went on for, I don't know, probably 30 seconds. I ran over to the phone, and then as soon as I did, my daughter took it off speaker, and I could hear a man in the background. She ran upstairs in her bedroom and closed her door. I opened the door, and she She looked at me. She had a terrified look on her face, looked at me, told me to be quiet, and closed the door. So I closed the door. I sat outside of the door and proceeded to hear a man talking to her, telling her that her sister had walked up on a drug deal, called the police to report it, that they have taken her hostage, that they had been chased by the police. They are now in a situation where they're surrounded by the police. One of their guys was injured by the police, and they wanted $2,700 to take him to the hospital to get him patched up. Or if they didn't get the money, they were going to basically chop my daughter into pieces and deliver her to our door. Now, you can imagine as a parent how I was feeling and how a sister, how Jana was feeling. It was just too much. I immediately dropped to my knees and started praying. Jana wrote down the instructions, came out and told us that she needed $2,700, told us that she was supposed to drive to a location where they were going to call her and give her instructions to drive to another location to wire the money somewhere. So she takes off. We give her the money. She takes off with the money. We, in our pajamas, my husband and I, we grabbed the 9mm for protection, of course, jump in his car, and by the time we got out of our neighborhood, she was gone. We could not see her anywhere. I tried to call her. She was not answering her phone. So I called the police, told the police what was happening, and explained it in detail, and they said there was nothing that they could do, that this was a hoax. It happens all the time. My next question was, what the hell do I do about my daughter who's out there with $2,700 looking for the bad guys? Sorry, ma'am. Nothing we can do. She'll be home. That was not comforting to me, and I was not accepting that answer. So we drove around. We couldn't find her anywhere. Finally, I just worked up the courage, and I called my eldest daughter, Ashley, whom we thought was kidnapped. Guess what? She answered the phone. She was just fine, sitting on her couch watching TV, probably eating bonbons. Told her the situation, that she had no idea what was going on. So everything was okay, except for the fact that my other daughter was still out there with the money. So we eventually called her and told her to pull over. We met her somewhere. Long story short, we brought her home and everything ended up being okay. Here is the takeaway from this, people. Have a safe word for your family. One word for your whole family. Pick whatever word you want. It can be pickle, it can be pillow, it can be dog, it can be red bone, it can be whatever you want. As long as every member in your family knows the safe word. If we would have had a safe word, when she was on the phone, if we would have asked her what that safe word was and she would have told us, we would have known she was in trouble. But we didn't. And if you don't have a safe word, you're not going to know for real if they're in trouble or not. All right, it's time for the true or false lightning round. True or false? Medicare will call you directly and ask you for your Social Security number to verify your coverage. False. If a caller says you've won a prize but you need to pay shipping or taxes first, you should send them a money order instead of a check or credit card. False. You're not sending them anything. Legitimate financial institutions will never pressure you to act immediately or threaten consequences. Woohoo! This one's true. Absolutely true. Clicking on the links and on unsolicited emails or texts from Medicare, Social Security, or your bank account can expose you to fraud. This one's true. Don't click on the links if you don't know who it's from. Scammers can often use caller ID spoofing to make it look like a call is coming from a government agency like Medicare, IRS, or a friend or a trusted company. If your grandchild calls in a panic and says, "Please don't tell mom and dad, but I need you to wire money," guess what? Congratulations, you've been cast in the grandparent scam. So if your caller ID says the IRS and the voice on the line threatens to arrest you unless you pay in Walmart gift cards, guess what? That's a scam. IRS will never call you, nor will Medicare, and Social Security will only call you if you've scheduled an appointment. Oh, here's another one. You just won $500,000 from a contest that you never entered. Just send a small processing fee to claim your imaginary riches. That one's true. I've literally had calls from my clients' phone numbers that have been scammers. Alrighty, folks, that's it. Episode number 2 of Retirement Riots is in the bag. That's it. Complete. Finito. Finale. That's all. So if you laughed or you learned something new today, be sure to show this girl some love. Just like, follow, and share, because everybody deserves a scam-free inbox and a good chuckle. But let's end it with a little prayer like I will always do after every episode. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of laughter and the chance to share wisdom, even sometimes if it's the hard way. Bless everybody listening with protection from scammers, an extra dose of discernment, and overflowing joy. May you get all the glory for the good things in our lives, and may each listener leave today feeling blessed, safe, and just a little bit wiser. Amen. Until next time, everybody, stay savvy and stay blessed.